Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this video lecture, we will discuss the topic which is remainder theorem. Remainder theorem is used to find out a remainder when one polynomial is divided by another linear polynomial. So we will avoid the method that you already know, the long division method to find out the remainder. We will use the statement of the theorem to find out the remainder. Theorem says that when a polynomial, this is p of x, this is a polynomial, when p of x of a degree n are greater than n greater than or equal to 1, mean the degree of the given polynomial must be 1 or 2 or 3 or greater than that values. So if that polynomial is divided by x minus r, this is a linear polynomial. You see that the power of the variable is one highest power. So x minus r, when a polynomial of degree greater than or equal to 1 is divided by x minus r, so that division gives you a remainder, and that remainder will be calculated by this expression. You just need to replace this r here in place of x, and you need to calculate, you will get the remainder. So this is the easy method. Now I am considering an example. Let's say before to prove this, I am considering an example. Let's say let p of x is equal to 3x cube minus 7x square plus 6x minus 3. This is a polynomial of degree 3. You clearly see that the highest power of the variable is 3. Okay, now divide this polynomial, divide p of x having degree 3 by x minus 2 and find out the remainder. So you see that you need to find out and find remainder. So the theorem says that just replace this value, just compare x minus 2 with x minus r. So you will get, when you compare x minus 2 with x minus r, when you compare x minus 2 with x minus r, so you get r equal to 2. So this theorem says that when a polynomial p of x is divided by x minus r, so the remainder r, which is a constant, is calculated by this, that you just need to replace this x in the polynomial by r. So here the value of r is 2. So just replace this x by 2 and calculate that expression. You will get the remainder without performing division. So I am plugging 2 here. So this is p of 2, 3 times 2 cube minus 7 2 square, 6 times 2 minus 3. So this is p of 2. So this is 3, 2 cube mean 8, 7, 2 square mean 4, 6 multiplied by 2, 12 minus 3. So this is 24, this is 28, and from here 12 minus 3 plus 9. So this is the from here you get 33. Yes, 33 minus 28, 24 plus 9, and you get from here 5. So the remainder is 5. Now how you can say that the remainder is 5? This 5 is your remainder when this polynomial is divided by x minus 2. So you calculate the remainder without performing division. So this is the reason that remainder theorem gives you remainder by very simple calculation, by very simple method. So if I divide this polynomial by x minus 2 per your verification, so you will see that the remainder must be 5. So 3x cube minus 7x square plus 6x minus 3 x minus 2. So I am multiplying x with 3x square. So this is 3x cube minus 6x square. Sign will be changed. So from here you will get minus x square plus 6x minus 3. Now this is your remainder in this first step. So the degree of the remainder is greater than the degree of the divisor. This is the divisor. So whenever degree of the remainder is greater than the degree of the divisor, the division process will be continue. So now I am multiplying x with minus x, so x minus x square, then minus 2 with minus x, so minus 2x. Signs will be changed, so this will be cancelled. From here you will get 4x minus 3. Now you see that the degree of the degree of the remainder and the degree of the divisor is equal. So in this case you also need to proceed the procedure. So if you multiply this x with 4, so you will get 4x, and minus 2 with 4, so minus 8. This is plus minus, this is plus, so from here you will get 5. So you see that the degree of this remainder is 0 and here the degree is 1. So you see that the degree of the remainder is less than the degree of the divisor, so here you need to stop the process. So the process is stopped and this is your last remainder. So this is your remainder. You see that now you clearly see you get this remainder by division method, and you also get the same remainder by just plugging the value of 2 here in the given polynomial and just need to calculate this expression which is given in the polynomial. So this is the remainder theorem. If you want to find out the remainder when this p of x is divided by x minus 2 by remainder theorem, so you just need to compare x minus 2 with x minus r, because here in the statement that when p of x is divided by x minus r, so you will get the remainder when you just need to replace this r here in place of x in the given polynomial. So you see that here is x minus 2. So when I compare this with x minus r, so the value of r is 2. So just put 2 here. You need to calculate this, you get 5. So this is the easy method to find out the remainder. So this is the remainder theorem which is used for the finding remainders. Okay, now coming towards the question of exercise 5.6. Question 1. The requirement is you need to find out the remainder without performing division. So when without performing you need to find out the remainder, you need to use the remainder theorem. The given polynomial in part number 1 is p of x is x cube plus 6x square plus 8x minus 11, and you need to find out the remainder. This is your requirement when this p of x is divided by x minus 1. But remember, you need to find this remainder without division. You didn't need to divide p of x minus 1 by this procedure. You didn't need to use this procedure. You need to use the remainder theorem. So remainder theorem says that when a polynomial this is divided by x minus r, so the remainder r will be calculated by just replacing r here in place of x and calculate that expression in the given polynomial. So according to solution, according to remainder theorem, comparing x minus r with x minus 1, we get r equal to 1. So put this 1 in the given polynomial. So p of 1 will be, in place of x you will write 1 here in this expression. So 1 cube, 6 times 1 square, 8 times 1 minus 11. So p of 1, which is actually your remainder, because you see in the statement that when you plug r in place of x in the given polynomial, when you need to find out the remainder and that polynomial is divided by x minus r. So this p of r is equal to the remainder. So now this is my p of r because the value of r is 1. So this is my remainder. So 1 cube mean 1. 6 multiplied by 1 square mean 1. So 6 multiplied by 1 you will get 6. 8 multiplied by 1 you will get 8 minus 11. So my remainder according to the remainder theorem is this is 7 plus 8. From here you will get 15. 15 minus 11. So the remainder is 4. So you see that you calculated the remainder without performing the division. You use the remainder theorem. So the rest of the question in the question number 1, the remaining parts are similar as we did this part. So the rest of the question, the rest of the parts actually in question number 1 are your assignments. So this is the remainder theorem. Okay, after remainder theorem, when this p of r becomes 0, just for your explanation, when p of r becomes 0, you see that when p of r gives you some value, so that value is remainder. So now if this is my polynomial of degree n greater than or equal to 1 and I divide that polynomial by x minus r, and remainder theorem says that you just need to replace this x here by r, so you will get the remainder. When this remainder become 0, mean when you plug r in place of x in the given polynomial as we did in the examples, and you get 0, so then this x minus r is called factor. Then this x minus r is called factor of that polynomial. You clearly know from the previous video lecture that when you divide a polynomial by, let's say, x minus r and you get a remainder 0, so that x minus r your factor is said to be factor according to the definition. So when you just get r equal to 0, so this x minus r mean capital R, your remainder equal to 0, so then this x minus r is called factor, and then the statement is called factor theorem. So the statement of the factor theorem is, let's say p of x is a polynomial of degree n greater than or equal to 1. So the statement is x minus r is a factor of p of x, mean the given polynomial, if and only if p of r equal to 0. What this is f and only if says that if x minus r is a factor, then by replacing r here in the given polynomial in place of x, you will always get 0. And whenever the converse part says that whenever a number by which the given polynomials become 0, so then x minus that value is called the factor. So this is there are two parts in this statement. One is Doric. This is the Doric part. Doric part of factor theorem says that if x minus r is a factor, then p of r must be 0, and this is p of x is a polynomial of n greater than or equal to 1, and when divided by x minus r. So if x minus r is a factor, then p of r must be 0, mean the value which you replace instead of x in the given polynomial, and on that value the expression in the polynomial becomes 0. So that value r is called 0 of polynomial. That value x equal to r is called 0 of polynomial, and this x minus r will be said a factor of that polynomial. So this is the Doric part. Okay, now it means that when x minus r is a factor, then by replacing r in the given polynomial you will always get 0. The converse part says if p of r equal to 0, then x minus r will be a factor. So if a value on which the given polynomial is 0, so x minus that value must be a factor. So you see here I write if and only if. So this is the meaning of if and only if. If x minus r is a factor, then p of r will be 0. If p of r equal to 0, then x minus r will be a factor. So if and only if there are two forts, one is Doric and the other is converse, mean if this is given, mean x minus r is a factor, then by replacing r in value of in place of x in the given polynomial, you will get 0. And if we have r equal to 0, so x minus this r must be the factor. So this is a factor theorem. Similar is the remainder theorem, but in place of the factor theorem, you will always get a remainder 0. So then you can say that x minus r is my factor, because you know in case of the factor you always get a remainder 0. So the rest of the questions are similar. And whenever in exercise the statement says that a polynomial p of x is exactly divisible by x minus r, so it means that x minus r is your factor. So here in the exercise, x minus r mean x minus 1, x minus 2, x minus 3. So whenever the statement says that a given polynomial is exactly divisible by x minus 1 or 2 or 3, so it's mean x minus 1 is your factor. So by replacing that value of r, when you compare x minus 1 with x minus r, so you will get r equal to 1. So whenever you replace 1 in the given polynomial or 2 or 3, you will see to the question, you will always get by from the calculation of that polynomial 0, mean that r x equal to r is your 0 of a polynomial, a value at which the given polynomial gives you a 0. Let's say p of x is a polynomial and some value, let's say p of x is equal to x square minus 1, and here if I plug 1, so 1 square minus 1, so p of 1, so 1 minus 1, p of 1 equal to 0. So x is equal to 1, this is called 0 of polynomial p of x, and x minus 1 will be the factor of this polynomial, because when you compare this with x minus r, so you get r equal to 1. So that's why this is called the factor. And whenever if p of, let's say p of 2 equal to 0 and the given polynomial is f of x is equal to, let's say I'm writing 2x square. So from here you will get, when you replace 2, so you will get 4, 8 minus 8. So if this is given that p of 2 equal to 0 and the given polynomial is 2 times x square minus 8, so it directly means that you see that on this value x equal to 2, the given polynomial is 0, so it means that this is the 0 of the polynomial. So x minus that value must be a factor of this polynomial. So you clearly see that when I take 2 common, so that will be x square minus 4, and this is 2, so this can be x minus 2 and x plus 2. So you see that x minus 2 is also a factor, x plus 2 is also a factor. So this is the this is all about the factor theorem and remainder theorem. The exercise questions of 5.6 are your assignment. You need to understand these theoretical work and just need to apply these theoretical work in the questions. Thank you.